I don't usually write stuff down, Dan, when I come on, but I thought there was a few interesting things that I saw during the week, so I thought I wrote them down. So Arteta has managed 50 games, and Unai Emery has managed 50. He managed 51 games, right?
He's a criminal.
So now, leave Unai. Unai is a football genius once I read these stats out. So Unai got 25 wins, 13 draws, 13 losses. Arteta, after 50 games, so obviously one game less, has 21 wins, 12 draws, 17 losses. So Unai now has 4 more wins than Arteta. I mean, then I also wrote Arteta only in the job because of his looks, question mark. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, he's not a tactical genius. He has no personality. How are we supposed to trust the process?
He can speak English at least. That's a start.
Yeah, well, come on, Shane. Like, Unai Emery's interviews, like that's what we mean. Like,
it's actually it's not spoken enough about how much Arsenal bottled Champions League in the Emirates final. Yeah, absolutely bottled it. And I think that was, if the club got top 4, got to Europa League final, could have gone in with a bit of progress. But if just after that, I mean, obviously Claude, who passed away recently on Arsenal Fan TV, he was very adamant that Emery should have been sacked that summer after the Champions League and after the Europa League final. And look, of course, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but God, Emery destroyed Arsenal in the finish of it.
The man tried playing Torreira high up the pitch. I don't know why. You don't know what he like.
He got
I didn't
sacked
mind Emery at first.
He got sacked the day he brought on Torreira. The day after he brought Torreira on and left Lacazette on the bench, I think.
Oh, like some of the playing Xhaka, like CDM in the middle 3, like he's getting paid to pick these teams. He's no idea how to use his own players. I don't know. Like, the fact Shane's even bringing up Unai, like, we've all moved on from him. You need to move on to Unai.
He didn't, because last night before you come in, Shane,
I haven't.
We watched Unai Emery's press conference. He put on all these songs about him.
Good evening. There was another song called Bad Evening. That was a personal favorite of mine.
Don't forget the 6-0 against Barcelona. God, he was in charge.
For PSG, yes. I thought that was
PSG 6-0.
Yeah, Jesus, I was like, you'd be lucky to play against Barcelona.
I have another thing written down here, actually. Aubameyang equals Ozil. Must have just been a little bit of free thinking there.
No, I'm going to go, I agree with you, Shane.
Big contract.
Really? Yeah.
He's got all his goals.
I'm not sure.
And he's
I don't buy it for a second. He's playing in the wrong position.
Yeah. I don't think he should be captain. I think that's too much pressure on someone like that. Obviously, that's probably part of the reason they wanted to sign him. But I agree with Sam. Like, I think there's stats whenever he starts as the central striker, I think he's got 6 goals in his last 6 starts.
Yeah.
I even like the idea of playing maybe Lacazette as a kind of a false number 9, if you like, and play him up behind him. It can work, but I don't think he's as bad as an Ozil. I mean, you got to remember last summer, he was probably the best player in England for a while. The 2 goals against City and Chelsea, then goal against Liverpool in the cup. He's had a lot of difficulties with his personal life. I think his mum was sick and stuff like that. A few other issues. I think he's someone who, I know he played well without fans. I think he needs fans to drive him on.
I think he's, like, we had these conversations with Mesut Ozil and we gave him so much time, and we ended up with a year down the line and maybe 18 months down the line before everyone realised we'd made a massive, massive mistake. And remember, at the time between Ozil and Sanchez, I was absolutely delighted to get Ozil on that massive contract. I was absolutely over the moon. And 6 months later, he'll come good. Unai Emery, why is he not playing Ozil? Why is Arteta not playing Ozil? Oh yeah, Ozil's not good enough. He doesn't want to play. And I think we'll get to that situation with Aubameyang in 18 months. But
I think the difference is, like, even I know everyone looks back as Ozil has been terrible since the contract, but like, I don't think he was terrible. I think when he played, he wasn't. I remember against Chelsea, he played and he was class, and suddenly he's just out of the team. I don't know what's going on behind the doors.
Well, remember the Leicester performance? He was the best I've seen him play was actually
unbelievable
under Unai Emery.
Yeah. And then next thing you know, he's just out of the team for the next 6 months. No word mentioned. Managers won't say a thing. All that thing with China and stuff like that. I don't know what was going on. So, like, the idea, Aubameyang, grand, he's been dropping a few terrible performances, but I think it's no coincidence. I know against Olympiacos through the middle, he was bad, but he was getting chances. You could see he was, like, visibly pissed off he wasn't scoring. So I think the idea that Aubameyang, it's such an easy thing to say, he signed a contract, hasn't scored a few goals, suddenly he's Ozil. But he wasn't scoring before the contract. You know, he literally, I think he got a penalty against United at Old Trafford. But obviously he's going to score against United. So that was literally it. He scored against Fulham, and then he went 6 games like that without a goal, signs the contract, and suddenly he's Ozil. Like, he wasn't scoring before. It was obviously the system wasn't working, or whatever Arteta was trying to do wasn't working with him. So that's more my worry. I don't think he's the next Ozil. I think we just need to find a position. Like well, there is obviously a position for him, but I think we need to just play him there. Like, this idea that he's a left wing, it's crazy. It worked in a back three because he could kind of tuck in and play striker almost, and he didn't have to work back. But when you're playing Aubameyang, like your main striker, basically playing left wing back against Trent, again, that comes back to the manager, I think. I don't think there's any of this Ozil nonsense. Aubameyang, and when it comes to his body language, I'd say he's more just kind of pissed off being asked to do that kind of role. You know, he wants to be up front, he wants to be in the box. He doesn't want to be tracking right backs for 90 minutes. Like,
I agree. I think that night against Benfica, I know he missed a couple of chances, but he was in getting the chance. You'd rather someone getting the chance. I also think he plays best as like a second striker, as someone kind of in off the left, and you can do that when Tierney's far forward, but obviously Tierney's out for 4 to 6 weeks. I think he's going to end up striker. I think he's going to play Martinelli off the left now. Maybe that means Lacazette doesn't play. We've no left back cover. The youngest guy, I think, is 19 or 20 who plays left back. I think that's Joe Lopez, and just seeing there that he's been training. So I mean, it's not a good sign for Arsenal on that side without Tierney, but I think Aubameyang's got to play number 9.
Just his best performance, and the thing that does give me hope, was the home against Leeds United. As far as I remember, he was the number 9, and he was absolutely amazing there. But I do go back to another contract. Like, Theo Walcott decided to play well and he was again
signed the thing.
He had me, and he had me number 9. Theo Walcott's going to fire in Thierry Henry 2.0, and at the time you weren't a million miles away from that. And Jesus Christ, he fell off a cliff. And as Sean mentioned in the podcast, or might have mentioned to me, he's like, interviewed recently saying he wanted his biggest regret was not win the league with Arsenal. It's like, that was your chance. Decide not to play, and I have a fear it could happen with Aubameyang. But
at least Saka signed his contract and he's played well out the back of it. Got the number 7 jersey.
There's no coincidence Saka wasn't on that pitch out of all the players, because I think he wouldn't have stood for that, what was happening.
No, definitely not. Like, best young player in the league, comfortably.
I expect us to win, because there's a lot of people listening to this on Friday. I expect us a massive performance from against Slavia Prague, and I expect and demand a performance from Aubameyang, but we'll see.
Yeah, you deliver.
Is Saka, is he fit? Is he going to be playing?
Yeah, he's back. He's back
training today.
And just on that, I think those lads were nearly fit for the weekend, and Arteta kind of said, right, if I say they're injured, they'll give these lads a chance.
Yeah, Xhaka was training as well.
Something up with that.
Smith Rowe's back as well, so be careful here, Shane. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I think Slavia Prague will do one on you, and then I think a bad evening on Sunday evening. I think it's going to be 0-0.
0-0.
You don't have a great.
Sorry, it's not often I cut across, but 0-0. Come on, Shane. Come on. Think of it. You want to win.
The 5-time champion knows what he wants. Okay, and it's going to be 0-0, right? It's going to be a bad few days for Arsenal, but look, we're all going to come back. We'll be here next week. We'll be trusting the process, and we'll go again.
You won't, mate. Before we'll celebrate and laugh, mate.
You get Brian.
You get Brian on it ASAP.